Morning, viewers. Um, how are you doing? How are you this morning? Here with my cats. Trying to set my thoughts in order and drink of coffee and maybe share with you some of my thoughts and some of my, well, not really with you, but myself. Some of my thoughts and some of my mind. So, first thought that came to my mind this morning, right before this cat jumped into my arms, and was Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad were not musicians. Jesus was not a rock star. He didn't go around Jerusalem with a lute playing songs about. He went around healing people, right? And Muhammad didn't even go around healing people. He went around slaying people. So they did nothing wrong. Buddha didn't go around singing. Merlin did. Merlin was a bard. He did, but he was also half demon. So I guess music um, is not the highest form of action, or maybe it is in a more perfect universe. Maybe the reason that Buddha and Jesus and Muhammad are not musicians is that they didn't have the right. They were in the wrong world. They were in the wrong planet. So that's my first thought this morning, right? Basically, cats wake me up because they need to get fed. So as soon as the sun comes out, around 5:30, this one particularly comes in and starts meowing in my face until I get up and feed him. Then the rest of the gang pipe in, and it's like this cacophony of meows until I actually go down and feed them. So I have to feed the cat. And I'm still not very woke, which is a perfect state of consciousness. It's like not really, not really fully awake, and not fully asleep, somewhere in the middle. It's kind of like the mental state that is most creative, most honest with oneself, more conducive to clear thinking, because your thinking is between subconscious and conscious, that middle space of the mind. So whatever thoughts come to me are very clear, very truthful. It's a good moment to write a story, for instance. So, what do we want to talk about? What is worthwhile keeping your mind into? I didn't start the last chapter of Baldur's Gate, so I probably need to do a little bit later on. I'm down to one screenplay that I have to write, and I'm still finishing a novel. I mean, for pay, like a paid screenplay in a novel. And the screenplay is going slowly, but it's going. I'm going to work on it after I do this vlog. Because it's the best moment to do it, right? Early in the morning. It's still early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock or 6:30. So, cup of coffee, cat, screenplay. But first, I need to I need to settle my mind to what I'm thinking about. Why am I thinking? And, and again, the first thought in my mind was Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad were not musicians. They did other things. Because my dad always pushed me very hard on the music thing, the highest form of activity and meditation. And music is beautiful, but it's also music is very much um, ego, ego based. I mean, there's a lot of ego in music. You know, Beethoven didn't have a very good life. Bach had a big family, but his principal interest was music. And Mozart, well, we know Mozart, how he was. So music, yeah, it's great and everything, but is it the most important activity of a human being? Is it the thing that is worthwhile doing in the morning when you wake up? I don't know. I don't know that it is. Maybe. Um, Certainly, vlogging, this thing that we're doing right now, can be a very important and transcendent activity. You know, I feel vlogging with you guys, which, like I said, is really for me. It's really for me to see where I am right now. I occasionally look at my blogs and then look at my videos, and I go back in time to that moment when I was doing it, and it's very interesting. It's like a time machine. Writing a book is like a time machine. It takes you to a different moment in time and space. And see, we could talk about stuff like Trump and Kamala Harris and Palestine and Israel and, you know, all the conspiracy theories, all the replacement theory and all those theories. But I feel that would be cheating you and cheating myself of what's really important. Really, 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 really important. For me, at least. And what's really important for me right now, as it has been for a long time now, is to look inside at the things that I do and say and think, and my likes and dislikes, and what turns me on, what turns me off, to try to get a clearer picture of myself as this body and this mind that obviously is not the real me. The real me is this endless possibility, this emptiness, this emptiness. The real me is an emptiness, right? It's this profound black hole that devours time and space and that exists only at the end of time and at the beginning of time. And that's the real everybody, because we're all going back to that singularity at some point, right? What people call God, I guess. That God is a singularity. God is a moment where everything appears. And it's also a moment where everything disappears. And it's the same moment, which is what's really freaky about it. You cannot separate the end of time from the beginning of time because they are the same thing, So God, as I understand God, is actually a singularity. It's actually a moment where there is no time, no space, no. In fact, let me look for that. The Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra is kind of like the most uh, closest thing to what I understand of God and all those things. And Heart Sutra is kind of that for me. So let's take a look if we find it. I like it that Google remembers my New Heart Sutra translation by Thich Nhat Hanh, Plum Village. So let's take a look at the new translation. There's Thich Nhat Hanh, Plum Village, and they got cookies. Download print friendly. Here we go. Let's download this sucker. Okay. Let me see if I can zoom it in so I can read it easier. Avalokot. Okay. Translation by Thich Nhat Hanh. Beate Stolte, you probably like want to hear this. Avalokiteshvara, while practicing deeply with the insight that brings us to the other shore, suddenly discovered that all the five skandhas are equal and empty, and with this realization he overcame all ill being. It is a different translation. Listen, Shariputra, this body itself is emptiness, and emptiness itself is this body. This body is none other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than this body. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all phenomena bear the mark of emptiness. Their true nature is the nature of no birth, no death, no defilement, no purity, no increasing, no decreasing. This is why in emptiness, body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness are not separate self-entities. The 18 realms of phenomena, which are the 6 sense organs and the 6 sense objects and the 6 consciousnesses, are also not separate self-entities. The 12 links of independent arising and their extinction are also not separate self-entities. Ill-being, the causes of ill-being, the end of ill-being, the path, insight, and attainment are also not separate self-entities. Whoever can see this no longer needs anything to attain. The bodhisattvas who practice the insight that brings us to the other shore see no more obstacles in their mind, and because there are no more obstacles in their mind, they can overcome all fear, destroy all wrong perceptions, and realize perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future, by practicing the insight that brings us to the other shore, are all capable of attaining authentic and perfect enlightenment. Therefore, Shariputra, you should know that the insight that brings us to the other shore is the great mantra, the most illuminating mantra, the highest mantra, the mantra beyond compare, the true wisdom that has power to put an end to all kinds of suffering. Therefore, let us proclaim the mantra to praise the insight that brings us to the other shore. Gate gate para samgati bodhisvaha. Gate para samgati bodhisvaha. Gato para gato. Meow 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 meow. And then it says at the bottom, the insight that brings us to the other shore. Translation by Thich Nhat Hanh in 2014, actually, is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial 4.0 International License. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not how I remember it. The one we used in Crestone was a little bit different. But basically, I mean, it's all in there. It's all in there, you know. With the Asapo, certainly. The second Sapo I took. Third Sapo was sweet. Third Sapo was awesome. Was just you know. But the second Sapo was terrible because my mind was trying to hold on to something, anything, and it couldn't. It couldn't hold on to names, ideas, concepts. It was all empty. And in being empty, all potentialness, all potentiality, everything that has ever existed was there, present, but not necessarily important. You know, it was like there was no rest, there was no end to rest. There was no suffering, there was no end to suffering. There was no it's this. There's no beginning or end to all of it, you know. Um, Actually better the other way. This new one is a little bit too new agey. The other one was more brutal and clear. Let's see if we can find it. I just undid that. What? Se ha lucido una grabadora, cámara eliminada.